Hey boys and girls, and welcome to tonight's flip video. This is a review of multiplication. I will be reviewing both traditional and lattice. The subject of tonight's video is all about my weekend because I was actually in Pennsylvania to visit my family for two main reasons. Now, the first reason I visited my family was because my little brother right here, graduated from college. So that's my little brother. It's obviously me who jumped on his back, and my little sister who was just hanging. So very proud of him. That has nothing to do with the flip video. Well, kind of it does. But I'll leave that picture there. But anyways, if you notice, I'll make this big again. This thing right here. This is called a tassel. And you see the tassel is made up of a bunch of small little strings called strands. So I noticed that when I was playing with Kyle's tassel, there were 64 strands on them. And I know that my brother told me that 516 students had graduated. So I got curious, how many strands of cloth would that be in all? And I realized that would be multiplication probably because I know, I'll sketch you one, if one hat has 64 strands, then that would mean two hats would have another 64, and I could continue drawing these little hats until I ran out of room. But it would be much easier if I just multiplied that. So I'll multiply with traditional first, and then I'll check out the lattice box. So I've got 516 times 64. 4 times 6 is 4. Carry the 2, because I can only have one digit in each place value. 4 times 1 is 4, plus the additional 2 would be 6. Then 4 times 5 is 20. Now when I move over to this 6, I'm actually multiplying by 60, so I need to put a 0 in to represent that place value. So 6 times 6 is 36. Carry the 3. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 3 is 9. And then 6 times 5 is 30. Final step, let's add this up. 4, 12, 10, 3, 3. So there would be 33,024 strands on all those tassels. It's a lot of strands. Now let's check that with lattice box. So I have my box. We've got 516 on top. You've got 64 along the side. Divide it up. And now diagonals. See, I'm taking care to make sure that I am matching the corners really, really well. So 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times 1 is 6. 0 and 6, not 6, 0. I promise that was a mistake. My 0 just don't look. So then I'm in this box, so I'll go over and up, or up and over. So 5 times 6, or 6 times 5 is 30. Dropping down to here. 6 times 4 is 24. 4 times 1 is 4. Having a hard time making zeros today. 5 times 4 is 20. Now I'll add my diagonals. So 4 is by itself. 4. 6 plus 2 is 8. Plus 4 more is 12. Carry that. 1 plus 3, 4. Plus 6, 10. Carry up my 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. And then 3 is by itself. So I got 33,024, and I need to label strands. So got them both ways, and we'll rock on from there. So the other reason I went to my parents for the weekend was it was Mother's Day. So I made scones for my mom on Mother's Day, and scones are kind of like muffins. That's a picture of one of them. And I had to use 14 grams of sugar for each scone. And if I were to make 357, which I didn't, I made like 20. But if I were to open a bakery or something and make 357, how much total sugar was there? So obviously this is a multiplication problem because this is a multiplication flip video. But if I didn't say that, you would know that it is multiplication, because in one scone I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 grams of sugar. So the next one would also have 14, so on and so forth, until I get to 357. You choose which method you want. Do you want a lattice? Do you want traditional? Whatever's best for you. I will then model both for you. Okay, so let's do 357 times 14. Do traditional first. 4 times 7 is 28. Carry the 2 because of the place values. 5 times 4 is 20. Plus 2 is 22. Carry my 2. 4 times 3 is 12. Plus 2 is 14. Moving over to the 1, so I need to put in a 0, so I'm actually multiplying by 10. And I'm multiplying that all by 1, so it will be 7, 5, and 3. Now I'm just adding this up. 8, 9, 9, 4, so 4,998 grams of sugar. Let's check it with lattice. Here's my box. 357, 14. Divide the box up. Taking good, careful concern on the diagonals. Okay, so across the top I will have 0, 7, 0, 5, 0, 3, and 28, 20, and 12. That's neat. I was having trouble with zeros the last time, and now I'm having 8. So 8, 9, 9, 4. So I got my same answer. 4,998. So a couple things to consider. Making sure that if you're doing a lattice box, your diagonals will look good. You have enough spaces. So I needed 2 lines across and 1. I always like writing my numbers first and then putting my lines that help me. If you're doing traditional, making sure when you move over the 10th place value, you drop yourself into 0 to represent that you've moved over place value. So that's pretty much the thick and thin of it. Your bring back to school problem, I want you to write your own word problem. Solve it. I should say this should be a multiplication word problem. Okay, your own multiplication word problem, solve it, have someone else solve it. Mom, dad, brother, sister, cat, dog, goldfish, iguana, dragon, whatever happens to live at your house. Bring it in, I'd love to look at what you come up with. So you have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you in the morning.